You ever woke up feeling like you just ran a marathon in your sleep? Like your breath is gone and your chest is heavy? And in Southern folklore, we don't call that sleep apnea. We call it being rode by the witch. Now, the Boo Hag is a staple of Gullah Geechee culture and hood horror history. This is like this skinless entity that slipped through the cracks of your house to steal your energy while you dream. Now, most urban legends tell you to run, but these documented short-term strategies are about how you can actually trap a hag and take your life back. Because once they put you in they sights, they not stopping until your job is done. That's how they roll. So protecting your home ain't just about locks and keys. It's about understanding the ancient protocols that's been passed down through the generations. And just remember this one thing before we get all up into the video. Just know I ain't the type that's gonna sit here and beg you to subscribe and beg you to like. So we'll start off in the yard. So if you ever seen this in somebody's yard, you'll know what what they believe in, or what they done been through, or what they think they done saw, or whatever. But before she even get to the house, you should have a trap in the yard. Now this is a bottle tree. You can take an old cedar post, a dead tree, or some rocks. I mean, not rocks, but some sticks or branches, whatever. And you want to slip these glass bottles over the ends of the branches. And the theory is simple. When the wind blows, the bottles whistle, and the Boo Hag, like, she gets stuck. And they say she can get sucked into the glass, but some people say she just stare at the glasses because she like the way that they look, and it draws her attention, especially if they blue. Because the blue, I'm gonna tell you later why the blue draws her attention, but if they blue, they really draw her in, and she can stay there. And now they say that the heat rises up inside the bottles, and it destroys her when she get caught inside them. So depending on what side or the town you from, or what side of the generations you from, you hear a little different little twist to these stories. But the bottom line is the bottle tree is your first line of defense. It's enough for her to get curious, and it also kind of look good for your garden. It's something that just some nice little eye-catching piece, conversation piece. Because the first time I saw one, I was like, man, that's unique. That looked kind of cool. So later when I found out it was for the Boo Hag, I was like, oh shoot, man, I should have went and interviewed that person, But it's a nice little thing to use as your first line of defense. Now they actually sell this paint. It's called Haint Blue. Now, if you get in these old southern neighborhoods, you will see they porches will be this light blue type color. Even if the whole house not the color, the porch will be this color, or at least the back wall somewhere on the porch it'll be this color. I've even seen sometimes where just the door will be this color. And then sometimes they get slick. If they don't really like blue, they'll put it on the ceiling of the porch. Now you'll see the ceilings painted this real specific shade of light blue. Now to a Boo Hag, that specific color look like water or the open sky. And legends say hags are terrified of crossing water because it washes them away. So by painting your porch, your window frames, or your doors this color, the ceiling of the porch, you essentially tricking this entity into thinking your house is surrounded by a river. And they'll just hover at the edge of the yard. They'll just walk around the porch, and they'll be confused and unable to find a dry way into the house. Now, it's architectural hood horror at its best. Now, you can just use, it ain't got to be the whole house, but just using probably just 1 gallon of paint, and you create like a psychological barrier that most people, and then when people say it, most people will probably like it. Well, I like this little light blue accent you got all around here. They don't know that's just to keep this old hag from coming up in there in the middle of the night and sucking your breath up out your body. But now, if you think the bottle tree is kind of ugly and you don't want one like that in your yard, or if somehow she end up getting past it, or whatever the case is, one of the most iconic pieces of protection you'll find in this old Mississippi, Louisiana, Carolina, Georgia, this old folklore, you'll see you place a straw broom, and it has to be a straw broom, cross by your front door and by your back doors. Now the Boo Hag cannot step over a broom. So if you lay the broom on it, so if you know she coming, you lay the broom down flat on the ground, because she can't step over the broom. Because it's like some kind of law. Like, you know how when black folk get married, they jump the broom, they lay the broom over the floor and jump over it. It's something about her where she can't cross that broom or whatever. And there's a lot of different reasons people say, and I ain't going to get into all of them because it'll take me too long. But that'll keep her back. And then another thing is she likes to count the straws on the broom. For some reason, I guess the Boo Hag got OCD. So when she see that broom and them straws, she will stop and count every single straw on that broom. And now if it's some cheap little Dollar Tree broom, it ain't gonna take her long. But if you get one of them big old nice brooms, like, man, where do you even buy a straw broom from? I don't even know where you get that from. I guess you just gotta go on Facebook Market and find somebody who, you know, selling it or something, man. Or go to your grandma's house, man. Ask grandma, can you borrow her old like straw broom, and get you an old straw broom, and just, that witch got to count them. And as long as she got to count, 1, 2, 3, that's gonna keep you safe. All right. So if you see them people who keep a straw broom on the porch, you think it's just because they got an outside broom and they don't want to bring it in the house. No, it's because that straw broom is to keep that witch up out the way. But now if you didn't do the bottle tree, you didn't do the paint, you didn't do the broom, and she done got up in your house. Now once she up in your house, you got the newspaper. Now the newspaper, you try to keep it in the kitchen or the living room, you know, your first rooms when you come in the house. This is where you take an old school, because, you know, I know there's no newspapers out there today, so you either got to go, I don't even know where you get a newspaper from. I mean, man, so you got to do some digging. You might got to go downtown and go to where they print the paper and buy it directly from them or something. But you need to get you some newspaper. And they are notoriously literate, but they are incredibly slow. So when she see that newspaper, she gotta read. If you got wallpaper, some people will put the newspaper up as like wallpaper in their kitchen, maybe just a little section, or they might just staple some on the wall, or they just leave the Sunday paper on the table, whatever, and they'll leave it on the counter. And this forces the hag to stop, and she will read every single word, every headline, every classified ad, even the fine print of the obituary. She can't help herself. It's like a glitch in her nature. And you'll find stories of people waking up at 5 a.m. find their kitchen smelling like ooze, and hear that newspaper. That's, they say she just smell like ooze, man. And they hear that newspaper rustling, and they'll see the hag sitting there still reading, because once they start, they can't stop. They compulsive. They got that OCD, man. When they get to looking at that porch or counting them broomsticks, broom straws, or they get to looking at this newspaper, they can't stop until they drop. So that's the whole point of this thing. Now, don't run up thinking you can beat them up or nothing. Now, like, they've said that some people even have tried to like attack them or fend them off, but they ain't until they finish the job. They ain't gonna stop till they finish what they doing. Now, unless y'all know something I don't know, unless somebody then, there's only one thing left you can do. Now, it is a thing left after this, but it's kind of worst case scenario, and most people don't have the guts to do it. But this kind of the last kind of passive preparation thing you can do before all junk hit the fan. So in your bedroom, you're gonna put either salt on the floor or sand in the floor. So if she done rolled you once, and you know she coming, and you know, because she gonna keep riding till there ain't nothing left for you. So what you do is you put down salt and sand on the floor all around your room. And even if they get to your room and they watching you and they getting ready to jump up on top of you, they gotta stop because they cannot walk past that salt. She compulsive. She got to count every grain of that salt, every grain of that sand. And if you spread it, you ain't just creating a barrier, you creating a distraction for her. And she'll spend the entire night on her hands and knees trying to count every single grain before she even reach your sheets. So you can just be deep in the sheets in peace of sleep, and you ain't got to worry about the hag, because she ain't getting past that. You ain't gonna count that salt. You be there all night long. You ain't gonna count no whole thing of salt. So this one of the best defenses, but it's also to me one of the worst, because if it done got to your bedroom, I probably rather her go and ride me in my sleep than me actually wake up and just see her casually in the bedroom. 1,100,235, 1,100,236. I'd rather get rolled than to see her in there counting, and then like, what I'm gonna do? Go back to sleep, or So, in my opinion, if it done got here, you done already got way too far. The hag takes off her skin when she get to your house. If you really want to end the cycle and you don't want to keep playing games with her, you have to find out where she hid that skin at. So somewhere in your house, and it most likely it's going to be your own closet, or if you got a little up under a dresser, up under a cabinet, and a back cabinet up next to the refrigerator, somewhere, she gonna hide her skin somewhere in your house. And if you find that skin, it's game over. But you don't just throw it away. You got to take salt and a bunch of black pepper and rub it all through the insides of that skin. And when she try to come back before the sun come up, when she put that skin on, it's game over. Because this the whole thing. I ain't tell y'all this, but the whole point of it is she trying to get the job done before the sun come up. And you trying to distract her until the sun come up. You trying to find something to do to keep her busy until that sun come up. Cause she like a vampire. Once that sun hit her, it's game over. So after she done been reading newspapers and staring at the ocean and counting broom straws and blowing in bottles and counting sand and all that, she gonna be exhausted. So when she try to slip back into her clothes, which is really her skin, that salt and pepper gonna burn her in raw. It's gonna burn her raw. It's gonna hit that flesh. Cause imagine if you just strip your skin off and somebody put salt and pepper on it. Like you're on your raw skin. And she ain't gonna be able to take it off or nothing like that. And that's when she vulnerable. So the ultimate goal is to get her caught up in that sun. Keep her busy, play her game, and you gotta have guts to do it. Now some people will get the Boo Hag distracted, and then they'll run up out of there and just say I'll come back later once the sun come up, and but me, I'm not finna play no continuous games with no I ain't finna sit there and play no games with no goddamn witch lady. The first chance, if I got a chance to take her out of here, I'm gonna take it. So I recommend finding that skin and putting some salt and pepper up in it. That salt with the little girl on it, pouring it with the umbrella. Put some of that, that's salty, boy. You put some of that on now, her blood pressure gonna go through the roof, and she gonna bust open all over your place. And then you just sweep them now, I heard of something you do with the pieces of her that when she busts into something, I don't know. I gotta, if y'all know, somebody let me know, but that's what you want to do, man. Get her to bust up into pieces, and you can go on about your way and live the rest of your life without getting rolled all night long. Pause.